And the third one is what I do still relevant in this age of abundance? As teachers, is what we do still relevant in this age of abundance? It's an interesting question to ask. Can a computer teach kids better than us? And if you say no, I will direct you to online education as a rebuttal. I will direct you to YouTube as a rebuttal. Okay? My son, as an example, likes to tinker on the piano. He's got this artistic kind of musical ability that I don't know where he got it, because neither my wife and I know how to play. But he'll get out there and he'll play around with this. We're like, immediately, what did we think of? Give him lessons. Right? So we sign him up for lessons. We send him to lessons. After 3 lessons, he's done. He is absolutely done. He's like, I don't want to be told what to do. Whereas before, he would get out his tablet, go to YouTube, pop it up there, follow the lesson on YouTube. So just as an example, is our job still relevant? Kind of scary when you think about it, right? Make some changes. And then number 6, he talks about the 6 abilities that will help us remain employed. And this is what we'll spend the rest of our time on today. Designing toilet brushes, designing quality experiences for our students, designing, did you see Megan Grassel yesterday, the keynote? Designing products that she saw a need for, jumped in there. So much so last night, my wife's like, it's really cool. Got on the website, showed her the catalog. Because our daughters are getting to that age, right? So design, if you can design, you're still relevant. Story, if you can tell a story, if you can weave a narrative, you can be a politician. You can also be a good teacher. Okay? There's so much about story. They're talking nowadays, a lot of medical students, nursing students, take courses on narrative storytelling. Why? Why do you suppose that is? Why does a doctor need to be able to tell stories? Why does a nurse need to be able to tell the narrative?
Patient relationships.
Patient relationships. Big deal. Can you outsource patient relationships? Nursing is largely algorithmic, right? Diagnoses, you got this, you follow the diagnosis chart, right? But do you always get the best care level? We've all been to the doctor, right? We go in there and the doctor's like, cough, okay, get it out. Versus the one that chats you up a little bit, talks to you, tells some stories. So storytellers, you can do that well. Jason Latimer, right? Great storyteller. Kept us engaged, we were there. It's awesome. Symphony. Symphony is just what it is. It's a combining of several things into one, or being able to see the bigger picture with a lot of things going on. If you can do that, you'll remain employed. Factory workers back in the day were responsible for what? One thing on the assembly line. Pound the rivet, goes. Pound the rivet, goes. Whatever it might be. What does that now? A robot. Who designs a robot? That's symphony. Being able to take all of this and putting it into one machine that does what it's supposed to do. That's symphony. If you can do that, you will remain relevant. Empathy kind of goes with what we talked about with story. If you have a nurse or a doctor who's empathetic, a teacher is empathetic, understands other people's feelings, who can help them through difficulty, help them through struggle, whatever, you will remain relevant. Do you get empathy from your customer service representative in Indy? I think they're trying. But there's that language barrier, right? There's that communication barrier. It's a cultural thing. It's different. They understand what's wrong with your computer. You don't, but being able to have that communication, that story, that sympathy, empathy. If you can do that, you will remain relevant. Play is just what it is. right? When you're 3 years old, what's your job? To play. That's how you learn. You pick things up, you manipulate it, put it in your mouth, whatever. Throw it in the sink, see if it floats, toilet maybe. Right? We play. All right? How many of us lose this desire as we get older? None of us do, right? We still want to play. Because what do we do on the weekends? What do you do on the weekends? You go...
Try to golf.
You go play golf, right? You don't go work golf. You go play golf. You tinker with things. You spend time in your garage, in your craft station, or whatever it is. You go tinker around with things. If you can do that, your job will remain relevant, because through play comes new products, right? New things that we want. That's why we hold our cell phones, because someone played with the concept of having this large mainframe computer that I can put in my pocket. And the last one, maybe the most important, is meaning. If you listened to or watched Simon Sinek, the Why Before How, was a big thing in our district. No one's going to care why or how you do stuff until they know why you do stuff. What's your meaning behind teaching them Shakespeare? Because you need to know it. No, I don't. No kid needs to know Shakespeare in and of itself. But if they understand the meaning behind it, it gives them the right idea. So we're going to touch on those things, but first I want to show you this picture. He talks about utility and significance, okay? When you go, we all have garbage cans at our house, right? Why do you buy the garbage can that you buy? It's utility, it's so it doesn't get all over the floor and smell and stink and make everything dirty, right? So I was in the weight room, this was Monday morning. Was it Monday? No, it wasn't yesterday, it was last week. Well, I was in there yesterday too, but I took this picture last week. And because I was thinking about Daniel, thinking about that, I'm walking through it and I'm looking at it and I'm like, utility, right? Garbage bags there, garbage goes in. What's the significance of that waste basket? Rock Springs High School.
Right, somebody wanted it to coordinate with the colors.
Yeah, school colors. Our school colors are orange and black. With a little white thrown in there. It's kind of jungly, right? Because we're tigers. So this adds some significance to something otherwise no one cares about. But you look at it and you go, yeah, school pride! Maybe you, I don't know. But it looks nice. It fits in with the rest of the system. So if you can do this in a nutshell, I mean, it's kind of a microcosm of everything we've talked about. If you can show significance and some sort of utility that everybody's going to use, then you're going to buy it, right? For example, why do you have the phone that you have?
My husband.
Sorry.
He made you buy it?
Yeah. But now it's very practical and I use it all the time.
Utility, yeah. But what's the significance of, why did you pick that phone that you have? What was the significant factor?
So you can keep up with everything
But that's utility. You can
Like,
do that with any.
socially.
I
If you
picked-
don't have
I picked
this
this part.
specific phone,
Yeah.
that smartphone, you can't have.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You can't have the apps, you don't have the best phone, you don't.
Okay. So you got to have the latest updated
Yes.
function.
Mhm.
Oh, very good. And that's exactly right. Is it not? All phones, smartphones, essentially do the same thing at a basic level. You text, you call, you don't call it as a text. Watch the phone ring and go, it's texting. But it's a different story altogether. Price is significant, right? Could be. Some people will pay for it no matter what because they want the latest and greatest. But most of it has to do with the aesthetic functions.
recognition.
What's that?
Name recognition.
Name recognition. Oh, you have an
I
Android.
got an iPhone because I don't
grown up with Apple.
There you go.
I mean, just, that's what I buy.
There you go. I'm just the opposite now. I'll never go back to Apple because I love the Android phone. But then again, that's the significance to each individual person. And that's how it's marketed to us. That's why garbage cans, toasters, toilet brushes hold some significance. Okay? All right, next thing. Transitioning into why we're teaching kids. And we'll kind of tie this together. 2015, these were the top 10 most wanted skills from employers. And you can see some of them are shifting down. These are the ones that were projected in 2020, which it's only 3.5 years away, right? Not that far away. Some things are going up, some things are going down. You'll notice one of the biggest jumps was creativity. Last year, creativity, not that important. In 2020, it's going to be predicted, right? Number one is the same. If you can do that, you will be employed. Not only that, you'll probably be able to pick your job if you do it well. Why is critical thinking up? Because it goes with problem solving. And I think that's a skill that we've always wanted kids to have, so that's always been important. Negotiation was very important. People management, very important still. But negotiation went from 5 to, it's predicted to drop. Why is that? Negotiation being working with other people, selling yourself, selling your products, selling your business, selling your services. Why is that going down?
You just sell it.
Exactly. I did all of my Christmas shopping last year on Amazon. On the app. I didn't even have to get off my couch. I'm sitting there laying back, got my feet propped up, and I'm ordering stuff for my wife on Amazon. It was that easy. I don't have to go to the store now. And the salesman come over and go, oh, blah, 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 you know, try and sell me on something. I can do it on Amazon. That's why negotiation is one of those things that's going to go down, because with these, creativity, we will find what we want because other people have produced it. Does that make sense? This is the new one. The others have all kind of jumbled around. Quality control is out, which is interesting. Why do you suppose quality control is out? Can't yell at the computer for messing up. That's what. Remember the Lucy Ball when she's doing, was it the chocolate things or whatever they're supposed to, and oh, this is easy, and then they start becoming faster. We don't have to worry about that anymore because now it's tied to, by and large, a computer doing it. If in the United States, if it's in China, then it's, sadly enough, it's sweatshop kids that we don't care about. I mean, that's just the way it should. Because it's cheaper. They work for a dime a day versus union worker works for $15 an hour. It's different. Cognitive flexibility, then, is the new one. Cognitive flexibility is the ability for me to shift from one line of thinking to another like that. Okay, how many of our kids have this ability to do what? How many adults have this ability to do? Most of them were, and I look at these desks here in rows. This is not cognitive flexibility. This is, well, this is the way it's supposed to be. We'll put them in rows, we can fit more in that way, and that's just the way it's done. Cognitive flexibility is jumping from one thing to the next and back and back and back. Being able to do that quickly, accurately, and efficiently. That's what we expect of our customer service, right? I don't care what the last guy's problem was, this is mine, I need it fixed now. And we expect it immediately. And that's hard to do. Okay? So those 10 things, and this is where we're going to go.